YouTube. What's going on? Finally, part 11 of the collection series videos. And as I always do, I'll start with a apology. I think I said I would have this out around Christmas originally, and as is my want for these type of things, it is now mid-March. But we're here, we're filming, and yeah, got a lot of really nice stuff to show you guys. So let's go over here to start. Kind of did this the last time. These are the Edo Eero 996s, CM 996 BMB, an exclusive collaboration with Begin magazine from Tokyo and Japan. These are just, very smoothly done. Nothing like terribly outstanding in terms of color blocking, the classic grays, but the, veggie leather patches on the back and on the tongue, cut of suede. The exclusivity, they were, I believe, less than 500 made or distributed through a collaboration with Begin magazine over there. So just a rare one from over in Japan to start off with. Speaking of which, a rare pair. This is the 99 Ginger 1906 Rs. They made two versions of these, as a matter of fact, and this is the non-Friends and Family. The release pair, these were still very difficult to get a hold of and are still, but they made the kind of crocodile patent leather hide underneath some of the mesh panels, which I compared to the Friends and Family pair, which is literally just all smooth green crocodile leather, patent leather. I thought those were a pretty cool touch and one of the cooler boxes, honestly, that I've ever seen. So real dope pair as well. Now, speaking of a recent really dope pair, these are the Lorenzo G 860 V2s, the Dusk pair, 57 of 150. For those of you that know, they released with a golden ticket system in London last month or a month and a half ago, something like that. And some of the videos were absolute chaos from the release. Really cool. They dyed a Toyota Celica GT in that same dusk color scheme, which I thought was awesome. And then there was a 991 V2 there, a one of one, that was somewhat similarly dyed. But I didn't even think that looked as good, honestly, as both of these do. So if you've seen his videos on his process with his jackets or some of the other Nike Air Max 95s that he's done, it's incredible. And the way that he managed to pull these off is magnificent. I can't wait to break those out when it's nice and sunny and dry out. So let's move over here. We'll do the back row of the couch. These are the Kith Madison Square Garden 991 V2s. I love the lace options. I only broke out the pair with the orange reflective ones, but I have the blue ones and the other ones. Some people think these are too plain for a collaboration. Again, I just think that we have to take into account like the aesthetic of the collaborator when we're judging these type of things. Ronnie and Kith, I mean, even when they go bold in color blocking, it's never like that bold. So again, I think it fits in line with the Madison Square Garden pair of the next pair of V6s that he did a year and a half ago or whatever it is. And I just think they look really great, and V2s are incredibly comfortable. I'm a slow but consistent convert to them. All right, comparison time, right? These are just OG 991s. These are the khaki olive pair made in England from about 4 years ago, I want to say, but an awesome fall or like rainy day, early spring pair that, earth tones. But I think the coolest part of them is that like cracked leather on the heel tab right there. And you just really can't go wrong with made in UK stuff. So love those. Okay, I think part 10 we showed off the V6s from the Santis Paris Olympics exclusive releases. I think these 997s are nicer, in my opinion. Just the way that the materials are laid out, the color blocking. I think that little, the gold hits on the upper eye stays are just enough. That raw, unbrushed suede tongue with the open insulation. leather on the toe box is as soft and as molded as you would imagine. So you got to choose the right shoe trees to keep these in line. But yeah, another awesome one. And I just think the little suede hang tag that they included on was an awesome touch. So okay, some 998s. Always have to throw some 998s in these videos. These I actually dropped a short that I shot about 2 months ago for these this morning, but these are the David Ortiz Boylston Street walk-off exclusive 998s. They were done in collaboration with, obviously, David Ortiz for his final home game of the 2016 season, his retirement game. And Boylston Street, being the hub New Balance store in Boston, they had a special release of these, like 150 pairs, something in that range, only available at the store. Just a little bit of customization. There's sort of like an inverse Independence Day from J. Crew with a more like grayish cream upper. But then they also included a t-shirt, which I'm not going to waste time unfolding. If you want to see what it says, it's got all the walk-offs of his career listed on the back. I put it in the shorts video. But an awesome pair, being a Red Sox fan. Family's from the greater Boston area. So, yeah, love those. Another pair. These are from the Explore by Sea series of releases, and I'm going to wipe off whatever the heck that is on there. See my cleaning skills in real time. But these are from the Explore by Sea pack of releases from a while ago. One of my favorites. These are the sand with those like rope, what do you call it, like boat rope laces. Suede tongue is so well dyed that the laces that come in contact with it on the inner half, like they end up staining themselves blue. So, but again, from that Explore by, Sea Air series of releases, I think that's one of the best ones, in my opinion. I wish I had the box still, but I do not. Now, a more controversial recent release. I know a lot of people do not appreciate the core design of 998s. They, compared to those, the back sticks out again, and the toe box is much flatter in comparison to the older designs. But double taps, as far as like how they color block this one, I love that super, super dark navy on the plastic parts of the upper, accenting colors there. And then obviously different shades of gray. Again, people complaining about, there's no thought into their design or coloring or whatever. Like, could you go look up Double Taps' release and just tell me like where there's like a multicolored or rainbow colorway in any of their drops? Like, if a company does that sort of muted style for all of their stuff, why should we expect them to like get outside their box just because? I think they're cool. I wish they'd been done up in the older style, but older shape, whatever. But speaking of older shapes, really, really dope pair. I call these the mint, chocolate mint chip 998s. They have a very unique, it's one of the X series of style codes, XAC on there. But yeah, just really, really cool. I'm a sucker for the speckled midsoles on 998s especially, but that shade of mint with the white reflective upper accents and the black trimming, white tongue with the black stitching. Just an awesome GR from an era of awesome GRs. So I'm gonna skip over that one just to finish 998s right now. Right here we've got the J. Crew Greenbacks 998s, one of his just most solidly color blocked ones. I mean, all of the J. Crew color blocked 998s, all 21 or whatever it is, are just, in their own way phenomenally done. But I love those. And then Nighthawk 998s, another pair that you don't often see, especially in really good nick. I love those navy laces on there to accent the black and gray on the upper. But another of that, I think it was BC series. Both of those are BC, not the normal style coding for J. Crew's, JC or whatever. But speaking of which, the special box National Parks Foundation Death Valley 998s. Again, a sucker for well done brown or like earthy tone pairs. But yeah, just again, really, really cool, well done. And yeah, love the special box too. Shout out to, I'll shout him out at the end, but obviously shout out Tom for helping me to track down so many of these and so many of the special editions, or, if a pair is released in one type, then he'll find the rarer of the two if there's two versions. So speaking of just really nice GRs, this is a 999 GR. Always forget the style code on them because they are just sort of HCC. Now, using that really, really cool burlap suede combination, I call it burlap. It's not. It's like a... I always struggle with it. It's like the material that you find on a lot of like military uniforms and stuff like that. But then also from a series of releases with those, like, they look like carbon fiber, but it's just woven tongues, which hides the badging pretty well. But again, great neutrally color blocked pair of a model that I don't think is as popular as it should be, or at least I think it is comparatively. So, all right, let's stay over here. Legendary pair, the Thanksgiving V4s. Now, I have a personal story to tell of these that I'm still not in a position to fully tell. I'll just say that I owned a pair before those in front of you and lost them, not through any fault of my own. And yeah, really stressed on finding them again in my size range. I ended up scoring them in my exact size, so I guess things do work out like that. But yeah, just again, from that, I think 2018, the year after the V4 really debuted and started crushing with all those GR colorways, like the Sunsets and all those kind of things, the Jupiters. But that was the next year. That was a Foot Locker exclusive around Thanksgiving time. I believe there was a rumor that one of the original, there were a handful of original boxes that were in the shape of an oven, that they were released, that red box was released like within, like inside. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't been able to confirm it. If anybody in the comments does know if that's true, let me know, because I would love to find that box. But yeah, legendary V4. Speaking of one that most are not used to seeing, this is the Distinct Life and Foot Locker Detroit, another Foot Locker collaboration called Detroit the Isle, mimicking the colors of Belle Isle and the Detroit River. Now, I am one that has only been through Detroit in passing, so I'm not going to speak as though I know that that's what it actually looks like. But if you Google pictures of it, taken on a really sunny, picturesque day, it does basically look like that shade, especially the little strip on the tongue, which I love. I love that they took the time to just to put that on there instead of the normal tongue tags. So... not sure, a couple hundred released through there regionally, but yeah, another awesome V4 that you don't often see. So, okay, we're going to do these two together, try and pick up the pace for this. Those are the Orly V4s from beginning of this year, I believe. There's been so many releases this year already that it's hard to remember even a couple months back where everything dropped, but people love the short that I did on them recently. I love the color blocking. I'm a little bit more preferential to the fog color, the brownish colored ones, because of that like midsole, that blue through the midsole. But yeah, those are both really, really wearable, really, really cool design. I wish that they were able to figure out some of those releases online a little bit easier for pairs like that, where the anticipation builds more so than normal, but is what it is. I think those fat laces are a really cool touch too, but really, really cool. Well done. So I am going to try and figure out which way I want to go, and I'm not really doing a great job. Up there store, 860 V2s, the Cherry Blossoms closest to me, and then those were something called something beach, something to do with a beach, I believe. Forgive me for not remembering, but have two of the multitude of lace combinations that they offered for both of them in there. I personally like the neon yellow laces for those Cherry Blossoms, and the pink ones for the other pair that I can't name right now. But yeah, just both really, really well done. And Up There store, just killing it with all their collabs and all the stuff that they do with New Balance in the last couple of years. So shout out to all of the Australian New Balance family over there. Always been solid. Shout out to Woody, Sneaker Freaker for sure. So the Size Bacon V2s, another pair that kind of just released, and then disappeared very quickly, unless you're willing to pay on the resale market. Kind of like the Creamsicle V3s that they did 2 years ago, but again, really well blocked. Honestly, kind of giving back like vibes of the original Air Max 90 Bacons that you know, everybody loved from DQM years and years ago. But yeah, just again, really well done, really slick, and kind of works with a lot of different fits and a lot of different days. So, all right, let's jump into two pretty hard to find 574s. The ones closest to you guys are the one of three of the original concepts released, the Northern Lights pack. They are obviously the green Aurora Borealis ones. Really cool party trick for those, which I'm pissed that I can't show off really because it's the middle of the day right now, but they are almost completely reflective on every white part of the upper, laces not included, and the outsoles. They have like a translucent green outsole that's just really, really dope. But when they light up glowing in the dark, they are unbelievably cool looking. So I wish I could track down the blue and the purple pairs that are remaining from that pack, but that was one of the very, very first concept projects that they did before they really got momentum going with New Balance. Well before the C notes, the original C notes for sure, and a lot of other stuff that you guys might know. So cool piece of history and cool party trick if I can ever take some video or photos of those when they're glowing. But next to those are finally my size. Again, shout out and thank you to Tom. The Ball and Buck Cool Gray 574s. My pair that I showed off in a previous video was not in my size range, and it always bothered me. So when the opportunity came for a swap of basically dead stock pairs to each other for, you know, to allow us to wear sizes that fit us, jumped at the chance. So again, appreciate you, man. What it was, 176 pairs to begin with. So, you know, we're talking about some pretty rare air when we're trading pairs to be able to wear them in our size ranges. But yeah, just I love how they did these. The green pair is awesome, and I am still chasing them. Again, envious of you, Tom. I saw those the other day on your social feeds, but the way they block the gray ones, I just think iconic AF, as the kids say, or might not, I don't know, but yeah. So, talking about iconic, all right, let's move over here. These are the Flight Jacket 580s, the MTG 580s, Gore-Tex outer with the nylon blends, and then that really cool sort of like ribbed effect on the material on the liner, like a bomber jacket. Comes with these Velcro patched ends to swap on. I like the effect though, that I like keeping them on there. Plus the age of these means that it's a little shaky when you try and pull them off. You never know if it's going to pull just the patch off or the whole Velcro piece. So we'll just keep those on there. An absolute legendary, if you know, pair from well back in the day. But wearable. I've broken them out before. They're still holding strong. I love all the MT Series 580s from Asia and Japan. Shout out, obviously, Real Mad Hectic, Stussy, Atmos. Been making. There's got to be at least 25 or 30 if you're just talking from all of those collaborations, and still on the hunt for a bunch of those. So now we're gonna start getting into some really rare stuff soon here, but not sure which way to go, so I'll just stick with it right here. Those are the BGO 577s from Size. Part of maybe the greatest pack of Size releases for sure, but maybe just in general from like a European New Balance project from way back in 2006. I know it's really hard to see now. That is a camouflage effect on the where the 3M would normally be placed around the framing of the toe box and the ankle collars. But the leather on there, I mean, is it's about as soft as you could imagine. Remarkably nice, in incredibly good shape for their age, almost 20 years. And the special event release box as well. So super happy about that. But for those that know out there, the Joker colored pair from that release, I believe those are one of 120. The Joker is like one of 60. And then there's two others in the middle that have like swapping of like browns and pinks and some other shades like that. But yeah, those are just, again, another if you know kind of pair. And very, very blessed to have tracked those down. I was absolutely stunned when I was finally able to come across them in my size range, and in that shape. Midsole is still rock solid, like in terms of wearability. So yeah, really, really cool pair. Again, speaking of rare throwback pairs, let me move gingerly the box out of the way. These are the Josh Wisdom Icicles from 2005. One of the first series of like collaborative releases with a series of like graffiti artists and like streetwear artists. Josh is, I believe, from Boston himself, and that is actually patterned onto the leather, like all of those, the icicle design. It's like it's almost like carved out of the black leather. So there's like a raised effect to it. It's very hard to describe, but if you run your finger along it, it's not screen printed. It's not like stamped on there. It's just a meticulous process that you can tell was very, very difficult and painstaking to do. I'd heard that the process of creating these in the factory way back then was annoyingly difficult. Another legendary pair from this same pack. These are the only Eric Hayes collaborations to have ever happened with New Balance. These are the Eric Hayes 574s, the graffiti, using a swirly kind of effect pattern. They are in need, as you can see the cracking there on the end cap plate. They are in need of a swap soon. They are definitely not wearable anymore, which is a shame, but I have made connections with some people who do very, very good sole swapping and repair work. I've already had a couple pairs out and back, and I'll show those to you in a little bit. But yeah, those should be due for that, as are those. They're not cracking, but they are going to soon. So yeah, Sean DeConia, the like black and yellow pair with the eyes towards the top of the toe box, was another pair from that pack. And yeah, wish I had those. I don't, but that's a cool sight to see in any New Balance video, right? So. Real Tree Camos from 2008, late 2007. Regional exclusive. I believe in the shorts video I made for these back, I said they were like an Asia exclusive. They were not, but they were a, how do I put this? They were like regionally exclusive in the United States, and then there were like very, very few leftover pairs that made it over into the Asia Japanese market that were basically the basis for all the pairs that you would ever see floating around on eBay or wherever now, and those are in phenomenally good shape. The print is all different. The Real Tree camo print is all different for each shoe. I assume, or I believe, it was like taken off of one gigantic cut or print, and then like obviously shaped for each individual pair. So yeah, another really, really awesome pair. Okay. I'm kind of in the way of everything, and I'm squashing stuff, but this is, again, and if you know pair, the BPNs from, 2007, 2008, go with the BONs that I showed a while ago, but just made in England V2s, so they're rare, with the 990 hit on the back. Purple liner, the brown leather accents. Again, another pair that needs repairs, unfortunately, but they are in as good of condition as they can be expected for at this point. And just like with the BONs, they're due to get some new life in them, so I can wear them again. But those are, again, we're talking legends from here on out, guys. So before we do that, I'm gonna quickly switch over here and get two pairs that I don't think necessarily fit into that aesthetic. We have the 860 V3 2013 Disney Marathon pair, which kind of like the 2012 New York City Marathon pair, just oddly silly color blocking, done for a specific marathon event. Not a huge fan of 860 V3s. Obviously compared to V2s, but all the ones I do have seem to be like very specific marathon themed collaboration pairs. So just a cool pair, and one that's actually fairly wearable with all the black on the upper. So, and then DTLR Fastlane V5s, quite used, quite beat up, but wearable. I just love the transition effect that they did on the area above the end cap unit on the heel, and then on the tongue through there on the ends as well. And then that 3M reflective, like orangey yellow hits up there, and then at the top of the toe box. So just another cool, like, kind of springtime, or when the weather's a little bit nicer out, you throw them on, preserve some of these other pairs. So, okay, now, trying to do these by model, but we're just going to start jumping into some grails. All right, so these are the, as you can see, the M993 GRL Green Lantern Friends and Family pair. They did make a black 993 in basically the same colors almost, but without the New Orleans cartoon 993 and Green Lantern logo hit. Let me see if I can. Yeah. 1 of 300, Friends and Family, distributed to the cast and crew, basically, of that movie that Ryan Reynolds was in back in, I think, 2011, something like that. So, really happy, proud to have those, as well as these. I'm waiting on, or I prefer the military colorway that's due, I think, next month or May or something like that, if I remember correctly. But these are cool. Angora, I believe, is the official color name of these. I give him so much credit for creating the anticipatory buzz that exists around basically all of his releases, but especially like the limited ones that take up on like the original OG colorways, like those did from the 992s. And just people, it's like a feeding frenzy. It really is. So, speaking of which, I think this will probably go down in a lot of people's minds as like one of the best of the year. How could it not? You know, I'm starting to get a little bit of fatigue from seeing them all over my social media feeds, but I mean, they're amazing. They really are. Well done, Joe. I appreciate my friend going to the release in Chicago and getting the box signed for me. So, keeping up the theme with the Keisha Blues and the original Anatomy of the Heart 992s that he got for me as well. But I decided to put the green laces in them. I've seen everybody using pretty much every other color lace from the set that he released, but not too many of the greens, and I just think it stands out there. And, you know, again, one of the better, like, avocado-y green colors that New Balance, like, New Balance is, like, one of those companies that, like, has random colors that they just decide to do really, really well. Not like they don't all their colors, but pinks, certain greens, obviously the grays, navies, navy blues. So those are the Joe Fresh Goods. And then the other two 992s from today, we'll do the Kithmas and the Burgundy Reef 992s from that pack that included the all red 992s as well. I'm not a huge fan of those. Basically like the red GR ones that dropped a while ago too. But yeah, just really, really slickly done. Heard me say that a lot, but basically whatever they do, whatever he does, they take their time with it and they make sure that it has that aesthetic while also speaking to whatever specific project that it is at the time. So we're going to go over here because there's 3 of the 5. So these are the military 993s that I'm showing you. Those are the Coast Guards. Those are the Marine Corps. And those are the Navies. Basically available through each of the branches PX stores on base or off, close to the bases. And I think a bunch of them were done in women's lasts as well, because these are, as some of you know, like the women's 993s, the 993 on the heel vamp is smaller than on the men's. And yeah, there's a lot of more women's pairs available online for sale in very random sizes, obviously, because of the addition of that you have to do in order to figure out your size from a women's. But these are a women's 13. Let's see if I can get that shot in there. Yeah, 13, which works out fine for me because I'm an 11 and can work on 11 and a half with big socks or double socks. So yeah. And then the Marine, shout out to my dad, rest in peace, I miss you, man. Semper Fi, love that one. And then the Time and Tide Navy ones. So, okay, let's do some 1500s, right? Miro, 24 Collates, or Collates. I'm really sorry for not knowing how to pronounce that, but an oldie but a goodie, with those perforated leather toe boxes, the suede, and then just sort of the swapping of those 4 colors on the ends. Each end is a different color, the 2 different colored suede tongues, then the suede framing at the top of the toe box. They're just the legendary 1500. And shout out to my friend for them, and also for the repairs, so that they are one of those everyday wearable, again, pairs. Next to them are the Crown Jewel 1500s that were available through the Oxford Street, London New Balance store only. I believe on the weekend of the royal wedding back in 2018. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, but pearlescent leather, probably the softest suedes that they've ever put on a pair. If there are any, they might just crumble up and disappear, but the London limited edition hit, and yeah, I mean, just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. One of 150, I believe. Okay, who likes Soulbox? I love Soulbox. The brothers are legends in the game. Kind of sad that they don't do New Balance stuff anymore. I'm not really sure what the story behind that is, but be that as it may, let's take a look at some of the most legendary pairs. Those are the Nazar Eye 1500s. Yes, the 3M is crinkling up on the toe box, unfortunately, but everything else on this pair, including the sole swap that I had done on them, is mint, and they are fully wearable. Broke them out the other day, as a matter of fact. That Nazar Eye hit there, I love that. Subtle but immaculate, and yeah, along with less subtle for sure, but again, one of the most legendary New Balances of all time, honestly. I think you guys, if you've seen the older videos I've put out, you've seen the 575s and the 576s from that trio, but the 1500s were always the one where I was like, oh man, I wish I had them. Well, I do now. Shout out to my friend for his assistance in helping me with these and a couple of the other Soulbox pairs that I'm showing you to be able to track down. Just legendary that they will never be replicated. I hope they're not, or the attempt is not made, because it's just a time and a place type of thing that I'm really proud to have in the collection. Speaking of which, the Aqua toothpastes, getting close there, number 8 of whatever it was, 220, 222, I forget, whatever the numbers were, with the Soulbox toothbrush. No, I'm not going to use it, but it's nice to have. One of the interesting things if they are that old, which these guys are all over 15 years, these leather-backed or leather tongues with the suede applique in the front, they tend to flatten out over time as the leather cures in the back and stuff like that. But I guess something that you just get to deal with as time goes on, but worth the trouble for owning them. And I've got a surprise coming down the road too, in terms of some of the samples that were released or managed to make their way out into the world from the toothpastes. So fingers crossed on those, and we'll keep the details secret on them. Here are the maroon 1500 finals pair, probably the worst shape of all 4 of them that I have. Wearable, swapped. And when I say worst condition, I mean folks, these are nearly 20 years old. So I had the green finals editions. I included them in a trade for another brand of sneakers, which I don't own those pairs anymore, and I'm very upset that I did that. But I'm still on the hunt for those. I just love the coloring on these. Just cool. Just really, really cool. Okay, let's go to Colette and La MGC. Vivre sans mort. Live life without fear of death, I believe, is the Vivre sans mort. Incredible. The leather, the liner, suede. God. Even the little, the stitching on the NB in the back being gray to match the suede on the back there. And the polka dots. one of 96. I believe those were one of 200, but I think my 200 or 150. One of 96. Wild, absolutely wild pair. Divide opinion for sure. The leather on the front is like that type of texture that the BPNs had on their tongue, that level of leather. But very brave to put the patent leather, the black patent leather on the upper. I think it makes the purple suede and the white leather hits stand out that much more. But just, again, there's a trilogy of those releases between Colette and MJC. The pink carbon ones are the third of those, and hopefully we'll have those for part 12. So now, before we go to Crooked Tongue's epic, we've got the Provider 1500s. One of the cleanest examples that left in existence. I know that the release was predominantly in-store or on the Provider website. It was something like 150 pairs. Then there was like 40 that managed to make it onto New Balance's international website at the time, and then like 10 or so that found their way into the Soulbox in-store, randomly into the Brothers store in Berlin. So one of the all-time 1500 greats. That color blocking is just beautiful, truly beautiful, with the white leather bordering and the blue suede and the toe box, gray and the black at the back. And yeah, another legendary pair. We're going to do this one before we finish up with the last two. I know you've already seen plenty of hints of them, so it's not like I'm keeping a great secret. But the Porta Nuova, translating to new door, actually, in Italian. But the Milan New Balance store, friends and family, opening friends and family pair. So I believe they made about 90 pairs in a men's sizing and like 30 or 40 in women's. But they stitched that is not the English flag. It's a kind of a wink, a nod and a wink to Made in England heritage for New Balance, but it's actually part of the Milanese flag, coat of arms. Is the St. George's cross like that. And then Porta Nuova is, it means like new door in Italian in general, but it's like local Milanese for basically grand opening or like a new opening store or new opening place. So just part of that series with the Berlins and the Madrids and the Lisbons that I've shown you in the past. There are a couple more that are in the works, guys, and there's a photo or a video I'm gonna break out, and Tom, you know what I'm talking about, that is with all 7 of them in there, and that's the levels that we're working at right now, guys. That's what we want to collect. So yeah, fingers crossed, but that is an awesome pair. So, and then speaking of awesome pairs, we're gonna do both of these kind of together. But the Crooked Tongues Confederation of Villainy pack, we've got the Blackbeard 1500s right there, and then we've got the Black Tom 991s. I do not have the Black Sword 576s or the Black Bart 575s, I believe, the blue pair. But in my opinion, these are the two better two of the 4. And yeah, guys, like I just want to give you the details in these. Remarkable. Shout out to Tom. I say it a lot now. I should have been saying it a lot before, but if there is anybody in this country and probably the entire world that can take a request for a pair of New Balances and go turn it into that actual pair that you have told him about, it is him. So like I have said in other videos, please go to his his site, checks.andbalances on eBay. That's his eBay store. He can help you to build a collection. He has helped me take my collection building from sort of like, oh wow, like that guy's awesome, like he's got some really great stuff, to, oh man, like so I have to give you huge kudos, bro. And shout out to everybody out there that's putting their collections together that I've interacted with over the last couple years after I started this channel. And yeah, everybody that's just got a passion for New Balance or a passion for sneakers in general. I actually did a video going through my non-New Balance stuff down in the basement the other day, and it had me nostalgic for sure. So maybe I'll post that at some point here, but I got to get this one up and out to you guys because I've been hearing it for a while. But thank you again for everybody who tunes in. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you have a comment, whether it's supportive or maybe not, or just anything you want to ask or say, please, it helps. It helps the channel growth. I know I'm not trying to buy my way into 1,000+ subscribers. We're getting close organically, but please, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button if you enjoyed this. If you made it all the way to this point, I really appreciate you. And yeah, thank you very much for your patience for this coming out. So enjoy it, and until the part 12, we will see you later. Peace.